All right, what's going on, everybody? Big Slam back with another video talking about our 8-1 Dallas Cowboys here in Week 11, taking on the 5-4 Baltimore Ravens. Both teams leading their respective divisions at this moment in time. Before we get into the Ravens-Cowboys matchup, I do want to talk about a video I made a couple weeks ago now. Who is the Cowboys' biggest threat? And I still think it is the Cowboys. I still think they are their biggest threat. Don't get away from the running game. I don't think Scott Linehan's dumb enough to do that. Why get away from your biggest strength, okay? It doesn't make any sense. You know, maybe he has some brain farts during the games like we thought during the Eagle game. But for the most part, he's not going to do that. That will not happen. You never get away from your bread and butter. You don't turn the football over. You don't have stupid back-breaking penalties that put you in a hole every offensive drive like it did early on against the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? Stupid stuff like that, those are things that you will shoot yourself in the foot and you will start losing football games for those three reasons alone. So stay away from those things and this team will be fine. I still think they win the division. But I did want to bring up the New York Giants because they are coming along here. They've won a few games in a row now. They beat the Eagles late in the game. Eli turned the ball over. What did the defense do for the Giants? They stood up, made plays, and ended the game. Bengals, they had to stop the Cincinnati Bengals. 1 point game. 1 point game against the Bengals. Their defense got after Andy Dalton, and he couldn't do anything. They just swarmed him every single play. Every time he dropped back late in that game, he was getting swarmed by the Giants. So I just wanted to bring them up as a possible threat at this point. You know, I'm not pushing the needle to red panic mode or anything like that. We're starting to get into that yellow-orange, kind of meter area, the warning meter. We're in that area for that team right now. But like I said, I still think the Cowboys win a division. Now let's talk about the Cowboys and the Ravens. Just a little fun fact I'm going to throw out there for you. I don't know how much fun it is, considering the Dallas Cowboys have never beaten the Baltimore Ravens. Just throwing it out there. Now these teams don't play each other every year. It's every 4 years they play each other. So take it for what it's worth. I'm just putting it out there though. There's one thing that does scare me about the Cowboys at this point, and the Ravens quarterback Joe Flacco. He does have a big arm. Say what you want about Joe Flacco. You don't like him. You think he's a bum. You think he's this. You think he's that. He does have a big arm, and they got wide receivers that can go get the ball. Steve Smith, still a fast guy for an older guy, man. Still fast, does his thing out there. Still Mike Wallace is out there. So that's something that does scare me about the Baltimore Ravens is the deep ball, especially with no Mo and no Barry Church out there. I still have faith because Byron Jones is out there, and I mean, looking back now, Byron Jones is one of my favorite Cowboys and a really, really good pick in the first round for that front office. And when they did pick him, I was so skeptical of him because he flew up the depth charts in that year's draft from the combine. And whenever a player does that always worries me. But now knowing he's back there in the secondary, it makes me feel a lot better. But still, that is one thing that does scare me about this game. So the Cowboys this week have to get pressure on Joe Flacco this week big time, man. I'm talking a lot of sacks in this game. I want to see him hit a lot. You don't want this guy to be able to stand like that big statue because he's a big dude. You don't want him standing in the pocket clean and chucking the ball down the field and beating your secondary deep. I do not want to see that at all. So you need to get to the quarterback this week a lot, and I think DeMarcus Lawrence is going to do that this week. So I'll give you my crazy prediction right now instead of at the end of the video. But I think DeMarcus Lawrence will have 3 sacks and a forced fumble in this game. He played like an animal last week. He that end around that he stopped. I mean, that was one of my favorite plays of the season so far by the defense. Just a great play by him. So I want to see more great play out of him. And I expect it this week. I really, really do. Let's take a look at some numbers real quick. Like I said, I'm scared about the passing game a little bit. Here are their passing numbers. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy at all. It's 247 yards per game. So they're not going to blow your doors off, okay? But I'm still scared about that a little bit, all right? There is one stat that really, really stood out for me looking at their offense. The Ravens third down conversion rate are 33.6%. So that's where you could really win the game. Keep the Ravens in third and long, and you'll be fine. I mean, these are things that you want to do to just about every team. But looking at these numbers, I mean, third down conversion rate, 33.6% for the Ravens. Our offense, 47.3% conversion rate on third down. And that's going to be the difference in the game almost every single time. It's the difference between a punt and punting the ball, or having to go for it on fourth down, or having to kick that field goal instead of being able to put up 7. You know what I'm saying? So that's a huge, huge deal right there. Now, I will say, third down conversion rate allowed by the defenses, theirs is 31.5%, Cowboys 41%. So we could see something right in there. Keep an eye on the third downs. If the Cowboys are getting the Ravens in 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, they're going to be fine. If it's 3rd and 5, things like that, 3rd and 5 and less, you could have a little bit of a problem on your hands with this team. Now I want to talk about what the Cowboys are going to do offensively in this game. And obviously, we're going to go to our bread and butter, the running game. I said it at the beginning of this video. I don't think the coaching staff is stupid enough to get away from their bread and butter, so I wouldn't really worry about that. There might be some games where you see them starting to get away from it a little bit, but they'll get it back on track. But I don't expect that this game. I expect them to run the ball. They're averaging 160 yards per game rushing. You'd have to be an idiot to stop running the ball. But I do see the relationship between Dez and Dak starting to progress here. I think this is going to be the week where Dez has a nice game. He had a nice game last week, but I expect it to grow more this week. I expect to see more out of those two, for sure. I would like to see Dez run a couple slants, things like that. They always got him running the deep ball, and it worked out last week, 50-yard touchdown pass. But I would like to see some slants and things like that. I remember 2014 against the Jaguars. It was just a little slant route to Dez Bryant, and he took it 40-some yards, maybe even 60-some yards. I can't remember exactly. But I want to see stuff like that. I want to, mix it up a little bit. You got Dez running fades and fly routes all the damn time. I know he can run the route tree. Just let him run some slants here. That's what I want to see, man. I really would like to see something like that. And I expect them to do that stuff this week. I really do. I think this relationship's going to grow, and we're going to see a big week from Dez Bryant here. All right, so let's get on to the prediction of this ball game right here. My prediction for this game right now, all week long, I've been just having the number 27 in my head, and I've picked that number for the Cowboys quite a bit this year. And it seems to be, they're pretty damn close to that number just about every week. I feel comfortable picking 27 points. Although the Baltimore Ravens defense is pretty good. They're solid. I still think the Cowboys are going to be able to put up some points on them this week. And I got the score 27-20 Cowboys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I would love to know your prediction and your crazy predictions for the week. Put that down in the comment section. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I might not be able to get out a video on Sunday after the game. I will be actually going away this weekend to a beer festival, which is awesome. But I won't be getting back till Sunday at like 1 o'clock, and I'm going to be hungover, really damn tired. I will be watching the game, though. I'll be tweeting the game, but I imagine right after that game I'm going to pass out for a little while. But if I do get up and have the energy and I'm not completely hungover, I will certainly make a video Sunday night. But if not, this week's going to be crazy with Thanksgiving coming up, so expect a bunch of videos from me. Anyway, thanks again. See you on the next one. Go Cowboys.